Hello to everyone back home. It's been exactly a month yesterday since we left Melbourne, so we thought we'd put together this little video just to let you know where we've been and give you a few stories. So of the LarryBiggers 2010, our European adventure, and I'm Biggers. And
I'm Larry.
And this is episode 1 of our trip. So I'll let you know, we started on the 29th. We left Melbourne for Malaysia, where we stayed a night, straight into London for a few days. I was pretty crook there, so I didn't really do much, but Larry went out with Reese and Joshy and sort of had a pretty good time around London and got to see some of the sights there. So
sample some of the local produce.
Yes.
London food's not that bad.
Not that bad. Not too bad considering what we've had over the past month.
Yeah.
But, so we'll get started. Our first month really has been pretty big. Spain really killed us. We did a number on ourselves, especially it's just one big party country. So our first stop was
Bilbao. Yeah, like big cultural shock for us. No one spoke English and stuff, but we got around all right. You've got to, don't you?
I pulled out my Malaysian,
Malaysian,
which didn't really get us too far. So there we go.
What can you say about that? Then we were straight on to Pamplona. That was obviously the main target, first target anyway. Went there. We were there for 6 nights. 5.5 too many. It was pretty intense sort of time there, but we did get over it pretty quickly. In fact, we were meant to stay for 2 days, and then I think
go to San Sebastion for 2.
Yeah,
and then come back for 2 for when Reese was to meet us. But we woke up after the first 2 nights in the morning and just said, stuff this. We got too hammered on sangria. It was too much of a party that we enjoyed, so we decided to stay, which was probably the worst decision we've made.
Probably half a day later we realised that was going to be a massive mistake. So Biggers ran with the bulls. I opted out. I was in there, and then I said, nah, this is too much for me, and I softened it, but Biggers was the man.
It was on the second last day of our trip there, and it was on the same day of the World Cup final, so it was pretty good. In the morning I got to run with the bulls, and at night we partied pretty hard for the World Cup final, which Spain won, which you can imagine was one big party that I can't remember.
Then we went to, from there we went to San Sebastion. We sort of woke up about 9 o'clock in the morning after getting home about 5. So it's still pretty pissy, as you can imagine. And then we were back on the Don Simon and caught a bus. Our good friend Don Simon. We caught a bus to San Sebastion, which we decided to get more Don Simon and act like absolute Aussie louts. And we were pretty
those people.
Yeah, we were those guys. And as you can imagine, we weren't well liked. Monkeys was some things that were thrown around. Anyway,
we got into San Sebastion. It's a nice little surfy town in Spain, and they actually hold one of the stopovers of the World Surfing Tour there, so it's pretty cool, chilled out sort of town. And we kept drinking there, and out at night what did we do? We just sort of walked around, tried to find some places to drink. I managed to find this little bar while Larry was off in some crappy church, and walked into this bar, and this guy said, "Hey, where are you from?" "Australia." Straight into it. Just starts belting out, "Oh, sing Matilda, oh, sing Matilda." And I'm like, "Wait there, mate, wait, I've got to find my mate." Found my mate, get Larry back in, and it was just, it was all in, waltzing Matilda. So that was pretty fun.
What was his name?
Captain Pinkerton.
Captain Pinkerton. Captain Pinkbits.
Yes, AKA. And so that was pretty fun. He took us under his wing, and showed us a pretty good time.
We went out after that, sort of got lost a bit. I don't know if we lost each other or deliberately did it, one way or the other. I got home about 3.
At 9:30 in the morning, because I found my way back to 22, not 22A, which we were staying in. So I spent the night in the foyer of 22, and that was fun. So from there, what was the next day? We
missed our bus.
Oh yeah, we missed our bus.
To go to Pamplona, and then we had to catch a different bus because we were going to miss our connecting train.
It was a nice bus, but
Yeah, we'd want to be. After spending 14 hours on buses to Barcelona, where we had a couple of nights there. Sort of just, we got in pretty late on the first night. The second night we just went out for dinner and sort of had a bit of a walk around. Pretty cool city. Probably go back there again at some stage.
That dinner was our first romantic dinner.
Yeah, we had some paella.
Yeah, at the Barcelona Marina.
Yep.
Very
perfect.
nice.
Free
Very
sangria
nice.
and expensive paella. So we worked that one out.
It was pretty nice.
Yeah.
Wasn't too bad for our first half decent meal of the trip.
Yep. So from there we went to Benicassim. Such an intense 4 days. We went there and we sort of were staying in an apartment down on the beach, which was all good in theory, but when you're staying in a place with 4 beds, 1 couch and a mattress,
no air conditioning,
no fans, and
14 people,
1 bathroom, doesn't work. Doesn't really work, but we made it work, pretty much because you had to. That was an intense 4 days, as I said. Biggers got to see his favourite band, Mumford & Sons.
Yes I did, loved it.
Saw it by himself because no one else likes them. And while we saw Hot Chip, Temper Trap, Calvin Harris, Prodigy,
Gorillas,
list goes on. Pretty good
Weekend.
Yep.
It was pretty good. Pretty good time.
Stories to come out of that is just so many.
That's a whole other video.
Yeah, pretty much. Mum, you don't want to hear these ones. Then we went from there to Valencia, where we caught a plane and headed straight to Ibiza with Reese.
Absolutely.
6 days of mayhem. We pretty much wrote ourselves off the whole time. We had the first night off we had, but then after that, it was.
Poor Reese was playing up his stomach, so he couldn't really come out with us.
Who cares about him?
Yeah, who cares about him? So we showed up the treatment, and what did? We did Pasha and first subliminal sessions.
Yep.
And saw Eric Murillo.
Yep.
Then that was pretty good. And I again got lost from Larry and spent the night out. Went to the after party by myself. Didn't get home till about 10 o'clock. And we did 2 nights at Cafe Mumbo, which is right next to Cafe Del Mar in San Antonio, to watch the sunset.
Had an awesome time there.
That was amazing. We spent an absolute fortune and got the treatment serviced by the waiters. It was amazing, and we managed to get one of the girls to come out with us to Pasha on our second last night, and so we saw Larry's favourite DJ, Pasha.
Yep. And that was amazing. Absolutely off chops. So off chops that when we got back, Biggie sort of fell asleep. And I decided it'd be a good idea to get a haircut from one of the girls that was staying next to us. Pretty much couldn't find any clippers or scissors, so I found my shaver.
And that's what happened.
There you go.
Presenting the Larry haircut.
That's why I wear hats all the time now.
New hat?
Yeah, it's a new hat. Yeah,
his other one.
He keeps throwing my hats away.
Yeah.
And then so from there we went to Athens, which is like the world's greatest city.
Ooh, perfect.
Yeah.
Mind you, we had a bloody full day of travel, transit for 8 hours in Milan airport with no freaking internet. It was just pretty crap. But anyway, we got through. We made it to Athens, which was amazing city, the world capital, I would say.
Yeah. It's amazing when you're staying in a hostel in the middle of the red light district. Can't walk down the street without getting off a couple of head jobs or something like that. Sorry, Mum.
You're in a bad spot when you get off your bus and you get a taxi, and the taxi driver goes, or tell him where you're staying, and he goes, "Oh, the ghetto," and we were literally staying in the ghetto. Then that's what Athens is, one big ghetto. But we did a walking tour around all the ancient sites, which was pretty good to see. Apart from that, it's crap.
And then the next day we went to caught the ferry, ended up in San Sebastion.
Pretty nice ferry. The last one, the high.
Yeah, whatever.
The high speed 6.
Yeah, and then we got to San Sebastion, which we are at now.
Yep.
And we've just been relaxing for a couple of days, and there he goes again. You would not believe how much this guy.
I had a look in the mirror just before, and I am drenched.
So here we are at San Sebastion. It's a pretty quiet sort of place. that's probably what we need right now. We're